was our first New Year's Eve as a couple. Invitations had been coming in, but we had set our expectations. We want to watch fireworks explode over the LA skyline from a lookout point in our neighborhood when the clock strikes 12.
Now, before we go on, we should probably clue you into a little bit about us.
I am a pretty direct communicator.
And I tend to be a bit more indirect. And as you can imagine, that might cause for some conflict in a relationship. This is the story about the first time that happened.
So the setting was New Year's Eve. Our friend Stephanie, who lives in La Mirada, invited us over for dinner at 6 o'clock to have dinner with her and her daughter. And she mentioned, I think I want to usher this New Year's in with a snore. So we were like, perfect. This gives us plenty of time to get back to LA in order to see the fireworks at midnight.
Now, conversations with Stephanie are some of our favorite. They're always robust, stimulating, and lengthy. And so we talked through dinner, we helped put her daughter to bed, and then we kept talking.
And talking.
And talking. Now, I'm the only one in the room with a watch on, and so like any sane, higher context person, right around 9:50, I say nothing.
I'm beginning to notice that Chase looks a little irritable, but I wasn't sure. Maybe the food from dinner wasn't sitting well. Maybe he needed a little bit more time before we went home. I'm not sure our relationship is quite to the level of a long car ride home on an upset stomach with the windows rolled up, if you catch my drift.
And somehow scooting to the edge of the couch and gritting my teeth and raising my eyebrows anytime Alicia looked my direction, I was supposed to communicate, hey, it's about that time when we talked about going, and so maybe we should think about getting out of here and not, would you pass the Tums? But she never picked up on that.
Around 10:45, Chase begins to noticeably withdraw. And this is a little bit upsetting, and I'm realizing, okay, there's something wrong here. There's something going on. It's not about the food, but it can't be about the time, because Stephanie's a direct communicator, and she would have told us when she wants to go to bed, so it can't be that. And to be honest, I'm starting to get a little bit annoyed because he's acting a little rude.
And I might have been. But at 11:20, I decide to abruptly interrupt the conversation with, oh, look at the time, we should be going.
10 more minutes of goodbyes and hugs, and we were on the road.
Now, the conversation was terse as we drove down Rosecrans. We ramped our way up the 5 North, and we found out that traffic is just dense enough to make sure we're not going to get there on time.
In my perspective, it was more valuable to be with Stephanie in that moment and value her friendship.
And I felt that we betrayed our plans and overstayed our welcome, and frankly, I felt a little ignored.
So right as we were passing the 605, I realized just how upset Chase is. In fact, it's the most upset I've ever seen him since we've been together. And I realized, okay, we need to talk about this.
And so we start to unpack the evening.
What happened there?
Why didn't you know that?
Well, it was because...
Couldn't you see?
Well, did you see it this way?
But we fell silent again. And right around when the clock would have struck 12, I heard a sound. Are you crying? And when I saw the tears stream down Alicia's face, I exploded with laughter, because I have never, ever at this point seen Alicia cry, and she's seen me cry 4 times. I have been waiting for this moment. But thankfully,
I began to laugh too. And we laughed, and we laughed, and we laughed. We laughed past the Citadel outlets until the tension completely dissipated, and we sighed in relief.
And that's when our focus realigned. Despite the letdowns of the expectations and the miscommunication, sometimes you just gotta laugh instead of let frustration linger.
What we learned in that moment was when we have conflict with one another, we have to move towards each other. That we have to value each other more than the immediate hurt.
And so we showed up to the new year a hurried 10 minutes late. That's okay. We found out in our neighborhood, fireworks explode long past midnight.
We hope you enjoyed this message. Biola University offers a variety of biblically centered degree programs, ranging from business to ministry to the arts and sciences. Learn more at biola.edu.